All right, B26 goes to cam number 1, and that has 2 holes in it, and that's the only bearing that has 2 holes in it. So that's actually pretty easy to identify. Then we've got, let's see, what's on this one? I've marked these a little bit already, but this is B27, and B27 goes to 2 and 5, so I'll put it at 2 here. This is also, no, this is B28, and 28 goes to 3 and 4. Yep, 3 and 4. This is B28, so that's also at 4. And then the last one, which should be B27 again. Get my thumb out of the way, you'll be able to see it. Yeah. So that's B27, so that's number 5. So just to verify, B27 is at 5. Yep. B28, I can see it from here. I'm not going to show you again. Just to verify, I always like to double check. B28 at 4. B28 is at 3. B27's at 2, and then the last one's at 1. Okay, good. Now, next thing I'm going to do is I've got this chart, and I've included this at the end of the video on the orientation of the oil hole. Now, this block has an oil groove in the bearing seat, so the oil can go in at any angle or any orientation, or a clocking orientation. And I've done some research, and I've provided the references. The best orientation is essentially 60 degrees off of top dead center, going in a clockwise direction. So as I'm orienting myself here, that would be on the oil filter side. If you're looking at the front of the engine, this is 12 o'clock. And then we're going clockwise, that's about 2 o'clock. So that's how I'm going to orient these. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to take each of these holes here, and then I'm going to line it up with 2 o'clock on the chart here. And then what I'm going to do is mark the top dead center so that I can see it. And so I'll mark top dead center and bottom dead center, so bottom dead center, so I can see it. So hole at 2 o'clock, as you can see, and then I'm marking top dead center and bottom dead center so that I can see it as I'm putting it in to the cam or the cam bearing surface, to make sure that it looks right and it's oriented right. It doesn't have to be exact. Anywhere essentially between 280 and 100 will work. It's better, but the optimal location is at 2 o'clock. One thing I also do is verify dimensions. I don't trust anybody's marking or anybody's process. I verify it. And I did verify the dimensions on each of the bearings where align with what they're supposed to. Also, this is a press fit, so these bearings actually have a larger diameter than the holes that they're going in. So there are going to be metal shavings with these press fits as I put them in. So I'm going to have to be aware of that and clean those out afterwards. Also, since bearing number 1 has 2 holes, what I ended up doing is saying, okay, that's the bottom, and the hole is oriented this way. So there's the first hole. That's at 60 degrees or 2 o'clock. And the other hole will be at 10 o'clock. So 90 degrees, 120 degrees away. So that's the orientation of that. And so bearing number 1 That's bottom. That's the orientation. Bearing number 2. Where am I here? Bearing number 2. That's bottom, and it's going to be oriented that way. So that's my approach. All right, final note on basically how far in am I going to be putting the bearing. The bearing itself is 3/4 of an inch wide. The installation tool between this face and the step is also 3/4 of an inch wide. And the bearing surfaces for 2, 3, and 4 are 3/4 of an inch wide. The bearing number 1 is about 7/16, and the bearing number 5 is all an inch. So, but the outer edge is 3/8. So it when I'm doing the install, the outer surface of the installation tool, I'm going to line up with that surface, and for all the inner ones and bearing number 1, I'm going to basically line that surface up also. So that's how I'm going to register these and make sure that they're going to be able to hit the oil groove. Otherwise, I'd have a bad day. The hardest one of these to put in was number 5, and I'm starting with number 5 because I had to drive it in from the back. On the inside of the block, there's no chamfer, so no lead in for the bearing to go in. So I had to install it from this way, and by doing that, I didn't have anything to balance off the end of the rod that I was hammering on. So I had to be real careful to make sure that that was as straight as possible going in. And I measured it so that this surface, just using a scale, was 1 inch off of the inside here. So it's I think it's right. And if I look in to the hole, I can see the oil groove. I may come back and think about this a little bit more, but I think it's in the right orientation. All right, this is the last time I'm going to video this. The other 3 will be rinse and repeat. So as you can see with my marking here, I've got the number 4 bearing. That's the orientation is showing to the right of the screen here, and that means the oil hole is on the side of the oil filter, which is where we want it to be. So everything is lined up, and I'm ready to basically install using the hammer here. All right, all the bearings are in. I think I've got everything set to the right dimensions here. Everything looks like it's lining up good. I didn't damage any of the bearings, and all of the holes are on the correct side. So there, there, and there. So I did it right. I didn't screw it up. Not too bad. I did do one thing differently off camera. I put in bearing number 4, and then I recognized there's a chamfer on this side. It didn't sit real easily from this side. I had to monkey with it a little bit. I didn't damage the front, the leading edge, so that's good. But what I ended up doing is I put in bearing number 1 and used that as a kind of like I did on bearing number 5, and then used that as the seat for bearings 2 and 3, and drove them in from that direction. So that's the only deviation I made from what my plan was. So if I can do this, so can you.